Hi, hello, welcome back to our channel Geetika Tips and Timely Varieties. So today's our session is about one of the most important elements of Panchaboothas. Sir is going to explain the one of the important element of Panchaboothas today.
Thank you. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Gurudevo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarvavighnopashantaye. Om. Today I will be going to explain one of the important elements of Panchaboothas. All of you aware what are the Panchaboothas? Air, water, fire, earth and sky. These are the 5 important elements in the world, and they are also important for the sake of vaastu. They are supposed to be followed as main principles in construction of vaastu, construction of the building as per vaastu. So I am Dr. N.V. Srinivasulu. I am doing this video on behalf of request from Geetika Tips and Timely Varieties. So I'll be taking this opportunity to explain you what is its importance of one of the Panchaboothas. It's a part 1. So one of the element is water. It's a very important element for all the human beings who are living on earth. So that's why the element is very important. So what is its important as per the basic Vastu principles, how it should be, where it should be, what happens if it is in the wrong place. Those are the things I am going to discuss in detail. So now the topics which I am going to explain today, I am giving you here shortly. Now what is the importance of water element, position of this element, how to find exact position in a plat, name shape of the open well, the bore well, what are the different types of bore wells, position of sump in the plot, position of the septic tank, position of harvesting pit, position of the storage tank, placement of agricultural bore well, effect of water in various locations in the plot, and also harvesting pit, and what are the remedies if there are any position of water element in the wrong positions. So these are the topics I have considered which are very important for the sake of any person who wants to construct an industry or a building or flats also. So like this, there are 5 elements. Now this video is only concentrating on one of the element called water. Okay, so that is most important. That's the reason why this is the first video based on the Panchaboothas. Now, see types of pumps you can see come across. It can be above the ground level, first one. And the second one is submersible. It is under the ground, but you will have a projection above the ground like this. The pump which is kept inside the borewell will be of this shape, a vertical column, or you can have this type of horizontal pumps of half HP, 1 HP like this to lift the water from open wells. So then that are going to be taken into account. Now, where is the good position for a bore well? So everyone will say the position for a bore well or water element is northeast corner. What is northeast corner? So corner which is adjacent to north and east or joining of these two compound walls is northeast corner. So now here you are not supposed to have exactly borewell in the northeast corner. Why? Because Vastu Purusha will be in the place from northeast to southwest direction, head towards northeast and legs towards southwest. So if you exactly place a borewell, now like this, let's say the borewell is kept over here, let's say. If that is the case, now I will show you example why or it is like this. So for example, here you are going to place a borewell over this particular place. Now the Vastu Purusha will be in this particular direction. Head will be almost at this place, and then trunk, and then legs over here. So you are drilling a hole exactly on the Vastu Purusha head or eyes or ears. So that's why it is going to create problems to the inmates of that particular house or building, and that is going to be negative. That's the reason why the exact position of the borewell should be in this corner, or else in this is the correct position as per the Vastu principles. So I already told you there are two important location. This is north of northeast, this is east of northeast. So how to identify this is the exact portion where you are supposed to drill a borewell? So divide the eastern portion of your plot into 3 equal divisions. The first part which is there here, even on the other side, for example north here, this particular portion is known as northeast portion. So now if this is the building, and this is the compound wall, then you draw a line joining the northeast corner of the plot and northeast corner of the building area. So that is called the diagonal or axis. So the borewell should not be on this particular line. That should be kept in mind. So anywhere below or above this line should be there. It should not be exactly on that line. That is the most important precaution you are supposed to keep in mind when you are going for a borewell. What is the reason? Because I told you just now. Okay. Now, how to identify if it is an open plot? So first, I already told you, you have to finalize your plan. Then, based on that plan only, you will be locating this particular position and you are going to perform Bhumi Puja at this location. From there, if you draw a line using the mason's thread, then you can have position of the borewell this side or that side. That is most important thing you are supposed to take a precaution while you are going for a borewell in the open plot. So without finalizing the plan, you cannot decide these positions. That's also very important. Why? Because if I construct only 3 rooms over here, like say like this here, then the line joining, let's say I'm going to give you one house. Okay, roughly I'm showing you. So this is the plot. So now here, see, this may fall. So that's the reason why you are supposed to verify and then see what happens. This, okay, that is the most important. So then you have here. So now here, this is the plot and this is the building, and you can have a smaller building or bigger building. Identify those things and then go for exact position of the borewell as per the requirement. So that's the reason why borewell is an important element for vastu. So you have to decide the exact position and go for drilling a borewell. So now see, even if it's a open well also, even if it is an open well or anything, the you are supposed to follow the same principle in the construction of the borewell or for digging a borewell. The borewell, when you are going for a open well also, it should be circular inside. It should be circular inside, and it can be rectangular above the ground. That's also very important. The construction of the well within the ground should be circular, and if it is above, then it should be of shape equal to rectangular or square. That also you are supposed to take important precaution while you are going for a borewell. Now, what are the things you are supposed to remember? It should not touch the northern and eastern boundaries. Here, boundaries are nothing but the plot boundary. So, eastern compound wall or northern compound wall, the well should not touch. Even a bore or open well should not touch these 2 walls. If it is touching, that is the wall of this borewell and also the wall of this north compound wall or east compound wall must be separate, and there must be a gap between these 2. They should not touch these boundaries. That is most important thing. It should not be a part of north and east compound wall. Sometimes it may touch, sometimes it will be there within the boundary wall itself. That is also wrong. It should be on, it should be not on the axis of, sorry, it is there, it's typing mistake by person. It should not be on the axis of northeast and southwest. Just now I have discussed in the first slide itself. So the line joining the Ishanya and Nairuti is called the axis of northeast and southwest. The borewell should not be in that portion. The more important precaution is the well or borewell should not be exactly in the Brahmasthana. What is Brahmasthana? Brahmasthana is nothing but the center of that particular location. It can be a small plot or a bigger plot or agricultural plot. That should not be there in the center. How to find the center, how far it is, what are the dimensions? I am going to give you the location of the directions and misdirections in a plot in my video. That link will be provided in the comment box. You try to go through it, then you'll be knowing what is Brahmasthana. The platform should not be elevated more than the floor level of the building. So what is a platform? For example, you have gone for a borewell for to a depth of 200 or 300, whatever may be the depth. But you will be providing some platform, and that height of the platform should not be above the ground level or floor level of the building. Because so if that is the case, northeast will be elevated and your floor level will be down. So that is also not advisable. Even the projection on the top of the sump or laying of the roof over the sump also should not be more than the ground level or floor level of the building. That care should be taken when you are constructing a sump also. So that is also very important. Avoid pump house very close to the bore. So okay. So now sometimes in a big building, okay, or apartments, they wanted to have a borewell, and then they will be covering the borewell so that it will not affected by sunlight, or you can say rain. That's the reason why they'll be constructing a pump house. That should not be very close to the borewell. So that's also important. So it should be away, at least some distance from that, so that you can cover it. And also the height should not be more. Okay, bore should not touch the main wall of the building. Irrespective of the position, that should not touch the main wall of the building or pillars also. That's also an important. See in the figure, it's very, very clearly shown. The borewell is there touching the main wall of the building. It is not advisable. Then, now this is a very important concept of vaastu rule. That is, if there are two houses and two persons are brothers or sisters or somebody else relatives, and they have gone for a common borewell and they are sharing the water in order to save money or some other problem. So they have gone for a borewell and they have not got good water. So that's why they may be sharing. Sharing of the bore from a different place is not advisable, and it should be from the northeast direction only. For example, this is a west facing plot and we have two plots over here. This person has gone for a borewell in the right place in the northeast direction of his plot. But this person is not having water. That's why he has taken a connection from this to his sump from southeast. Therefore, naturally, so it can be like this or it can be like this. See the example in this. This particular person is having a bore in this position and he is taking the water, and this particular person also sharing the water. So why this happened means that was a common plot in before, and then they had a borewell at this and they had a building over here. So in course of time, the brothers have decided to part away and they have separated the building into two equal halves. One person is staying in this, another person is staying in this area, and they have constructed the building separately. But they are sharing the same borewell because they are not getting sufficient water in that particular area. They have an agreement, and that's the reason why this particular person is using the water, pumping into the sump, and then going to the water hand over a tank here, and then using. And this person is having a sump over here, and he is drawing water from this and then putting like this and then using. So now see clearly, a bore is shared by the two persons adjacent to each other. Now, what is its effect? We are having water, surplus water. There is no. A person in this particular area, in this plot of this, because there is a separation from these two, and they have separated these two brothers, and this particular person, for his house, this is located in the southeast corner. So there are variety of problems that are faced by this particular person compared to this fellow. So the water element is there, it is not exactly, and it was drilled before when it is an open plot and having a building over here. So that's the reason why this particular person will have an added advantage and this person will have negative impact because of the same old bore itself. That's the reason why sharing is not advisable. One person will be benefited, other person will be having some type of problems. So depending upon the position of the bore well, that is also not advisable. A well in the east, all good moments feast. So this is also one of the important saying by many vaastu experts and the persons who have written books also. A well in the east, eastern side is also advisable. All good omens feast. Okay. If you have a bore in the north side, you will have very good benefits out of it financially. So if you have a bore well on the northern side or north of northeast, the financially the inmates will be very sound and will be happy with the finance, or their business will be flourishing and they will be improving their financial standards based on this particular bore. If the same well is in the southern side, so it causes untimely death of the woman. See, we have a bore well in the southern side and it is causing death to the woman. If the same well is on the western side, there will be financial losses and also it causes uncurable diseases for the inmates. So that's the reason why it is better to go for well in the east of northeast or north of northeast. Again, you can see northeast, I already told you, it's an excellent position for the water element within the plot. Now, for example, north of northeast, I'm going to explain the importance of bore in all the directions and also misdirections like Ishanya, Agneya, Nairuti, and Vayuvya. So again, we have Ishanya means Turpishanya, that is east of northeast and west of northeast. So if it is in the north of northeast, financial gains can be seen and there will be flourishing because of financial outcomes. So that's also important. The persons who wants to have more money can have a borewell in the north of northeast. If you have east of northeast, because there is a provision, that's why if you had a borewell, then on the eastern side of northeast, then you will get fame and name. So you'll be getting some amount, but not to the extent what you feel, but you will get a fame and name in the society. Your name will be very popular and you will be excelled in one particular thing. And you will say that, for example, a person having a borewell in the east of northeast and his name was Ramaya. Afterwards, after a few years, his name has been changed to Idli Ramaya because he used to sell only idlis and chutney in the morning. Hardly he operates this business for 2 hours a day, but people will stand in the line for his idli and he was named as Idli Ramaya. Yes, he is minting money, he is making money, but he is famous in the business which he is doing and hardly does 2 hours per day. See, that's it. Okay. So now just because of east of northeast, and also the locations of the house and everything is all right. Now, for example, if a bore is in the Agneya, that is southeast place, the inmates will have health problems, and especially to the owner and also children. So that is the effect of a bore or open well in the southeast corner. So those are the things we can see. Now, for example, again I told you, if you have borewell in south of southeast or east of southeast, both are not advisable. If it is east, if it is south of southeast, that is on the southern side of southeast, women will be having health problems, they feel sick, and also there is a possibility of thefts, bad habits, and financial losses. So these are the problems which you can see clearly in this particular position of the bore. For example, if we have a borewell in the south of southwest direction, again we are moving to the southwest corner, we have two locations. It is not advisable to have a borewell exactly on axis. That's why we are having two more provisions, south of southwest and west of southwest. Both are not at all advisable, even if you have plenty of water in that particular area. Even a geologist surveys the plot and suggests you will have 4 or 5 inches of water. That is water, whatever you are going to get it drop from the ground will be expressed in terms of inches of water. Even if he recommends that there is a plenty of water on the ground level at 100 feet, and then if he suggests don't go for a well in the southwest, on southern southwest or western southwest, that is not at all advisable. And if you have in the south of southwest, there is a loss of money because of business or some other reason, and health issues to the woman. So there will be so many problems for the women who are staying in that particular house. If you have on the western side, it will be affecting the males and chronic diseases to the owner of that particular house, and there is also a possibility of sudden death to the owner, maybe due to accidents or heart attack or something. Just like that, the person expires, bad characters and premature death to the children. So that's the reason why this is not at all advisable. For example, next we have Vayuvya, that is northwest corner. We have north of northwest, west of northwest. If you take north of northwest corner, so if that is the case, then you can say no mental peace for woman, increase of enmity, and then you can have north of northwest means that are the problems. Ladies may leave the house also. So west of northwest is causing financial losses, court litigations, and also thefts, affects men, no peace of mind to the gents. So see, there's a lot of variation. All the problems, these are being listed based on my experience of 3 decades. It's a practically proven. An expert or a person without basic knowledge of Vastu, if you can observe this type of position of the bore in any plot or independent house, or even in the flats, you can see the persons will be facing these type of problems, and you can say blindly these are the things the persons are going to face. Then you will be uplifted, saying yes, you know, you are like a Baba. You are saying no, this is only the basic experience things I am sharing in front of you on this particular knowledge. So that's the reason why I'm telling you. Then position of sump. Next I told you the comment sump, where we are going to store water or municipal corporation water, and then we'll be using for your daily needs. So how you are going to use it? We will be placing one sump in that particular place under the ground. Sump is a place where you store water below the ground level. But above the ground level and above the terrace, that is called overhead tank. So that's why sump is constructed under the ground for storing water. Always sump should be in eastern or northern portion of the plot, and should be towards northeast corner. I'll be showing this one, the position clearly by drawing a figure. It should be rectangular or circular. Okay, you can have rings for storing the water, or it can be a rectangular in shape or a square shape for storing the water, but it should be below the ground level. Even the cover or the lid of this one should not be more than the floor level of the building, and you should not be on the axis joining northeast and southwest. That should be avoided. Now, position of overhead tank. Yes, this is also a place where you are going to store water. That is above the terrace or above the building where you store the water. Always it should be on the southwest corner on the roof area. It can be circular, or it can be rectangular, or it can be PVC, or it can be any way you can store it, but it should be exactly in the southwest corner. That should be the highest point in the constructed area where you are going to keep your water tank. That should be the correct position or location for storing the water above the ground level, above the terrace. This can be constructed with RCC structure, rectangular or square or anything, whatever you want. Even syntax tanks, plastic tanks, or any other make. I'm not particular about syntax. There are variety of manufacturers are coming to service, and they are manufacturing these tanks, circular, white or black, depending upon your choice. You can keep it on that particular place. Now, septic tank I'm showing you clearly. It's a south facing plot, and I'm going to show you the locations. It should not be exactly in the southeast corner or northwest corner. It should be in the positions as shown in the figure. Okay, this is the exact location you can have in the house. Then harvesting pit. Yes, as a citizen, it is your responsibility to save water. You are not supposed to leave the rainwater just like that onto the road. The excess water will be leaving your place and then joining the nala and then go to the ocean. So you are being a responsible citizen, you are supposed to save whatever the rainwater, and then it should be within your, so that you are increasing the ground level of water inside the ground. So it is mandatory by the state governments for sanctioning a plan to construct a building. That's also a good move. So that's the reason why don't cheat the government by saying I have constructed a harvesting pit over here. Many flat owners are just saying a board, keeping a board at that particular place saying that this is the location of the harvesting pit. No, you are cheating the government as well as you are cheating yourself, and you will be facing the problems in future because of lack of water. If you have open area is there, you are not going to dwell. So you are going to create your own harvesting pit so that your ground level of the water inside the ground will be increased because of this type of harvesting pit by each and every individual in the house. It is What is the use of harvesting pit? The rainwater, whatever you are going to collect, that should be sent to the place where you are going to, so that it sinks into the ground and the water level increases inside the ground. And always it should be a northern area or eastern area or northeast area, because you are providing water into your own ground so that the level increases. Now, what are the remedies for borewell in wrong position? Yes, there are remedies. For example, a person was having a borewell in the northwest corner in the north sun side, that is north of northwest corner. Previously used to have a borewell in the northeast, and he was doing excellently running the school. It's a famous school in the Hyderabad, and he was doing extremely very well, and it's very famous school in the heart of this Hyderabad. Now as the consumption of the water increased because of number of students, so there he has problem to get the water from the northeast corner. So he has surveyed the with the geologist and he has recommended a bore in the north of northwest corner. So without consulting anyone, so he has gone for a water. He got plenty of water. Yes, as per geologist, he has gone and he got very good amount of water and he was very happy because he has invested and he got the water at 923 feet. Yes, so he has spent money, but he was very happy that he got. By from that day onwards, the problems have started. So there were hell of problems for him. All the problems which I have discussed were faced by him. Then he has called me and then asked, what is the reason? I was very well, and also my school was very nice and reputed. Yes, but what is the reason? This is the only thing he has made. So that is the reason why. Now what should I do for it? He cannot close that particular bore well because they have got very good amount of water, but he got it at 923 feet from the floor level. So I asked him, you go for a bore well in the northeast corner at least 1,000 feet. Though you get it or not, you should have a open bore and hollow portion in the northeast corner, at least 50 to 60 feet more than this. Then he has spent, you can estimate what will be the cost of drilling for 1,000 feet. Yes, he has gone and then the problems automatically solved because here the one thing is I told you it is in a wrong place. The remedy is he has gone for another bore well whose depth is more than the northwest. So relatively northeast is more. So then that is the way you are supposed to. If you completely close it, he has to shut down his school because of water. So that's the reason why I have suggested him and then he could come out of these problems without any difficulty. So that is, like this you are, for example, I have given a plan sharing a bore well from single bore by the two brothers. So now the problems whatever I have listed, those problems that particular person is facing and it is faced in a metropolitan city, Delhi. Yes, but now I advised him to close this. How to close the bore well? Bore well is closed simply just like that. Don't cover it, take out the submersible pump and cover it. No, you are supposed to cover it with the mud and then pour water in the middle and see that it's completely filled. There should not be any gaps in between. So that is the way you are supposed to do it. Now, so like this, you have several remedies. We don't have time to go for it. That's the reason why I have given two remedies how to go for it. General precautions. Water logging is not advisable exactly opposite the main door. Yes. So whenever the rain comes, the water will log in your road or whatever may be the facing of the road exactly opposite your main door or main gate. That should be restricted. How you are going, you can know the procedure how to raise this. See that the water will not log over there or stands over there. That's the reason. Okay, water seepage is not advisable within the building. Okay, sewage lines. When you go for a sewage lines, particular precautions you are supposed to take while you are diverting the sewage line from your house to outside corporation manholes. That is also very important. There are so many, this varies from place to place. That's the reason why a precaution I have given you. You are supposed to consult any expert and then decide. That is going to give a hell of problems to the owner. Then manholes. So yes, manholes means so a hole, a drainage where man enters into the hole and then cleans or makes some problems or whenever there is a block in the pipelines. So that position of the manholes within the plot area or a flat area or buildings or any other things you are supposed to take. How many number, where should be, how it should be, that should be taken care when you are going for this. And here more than one bore. Now this is one of the important thing the flat owners are facing. One bore well will be there at the time of joining the house. So naturally they will have a bore in the northeast corner and then they'll sell and the owner will get out of that particular place. After few years they will scarcity of water, then they'll go for survey and they'll have a bore well in another place. That is going to create problems to the few flats in that particular locality. That's the reason why you have to take care while you want to go for a second bore. Then now precaution is fountain, water fountain. Some of them wants to beautify their flats or else independent house or flat and they're placing a water fountain inside the house, outside the house in various locations. They are supposed to consult an expert when you want to go for a water fountain. Sump covering, opening cover, yes. So the sump level, that is, you'll be going for a sump for storing water below the ground level and then you will be covering this one with a roof, almost RCC roof you'll say. Okay, and you'll have a opening and so that a maid will enter and then cleans it and then he'll come out. So there is an opening of 2 by 2 or 1.5 by 2 like this, depending upon the sump size, they'll be providing it. So that sump cover should not be exactly opposite to your main door. That is also an important precaution. Now, case study. Already I have given you case study while I am discussing sharing a bore in the among the two brothers of that particular metropolitan city in Delhi. Okay, so water element creation in the sweet shop. This is an important thing. A person started his business in one of the locations in Hyderabad and he was followed all the instructions by an expert, but he could not do good business, though he has spent lakhs of rupees for interiors and also other things. But when I was called, I told him the things whatever you have followed is excellent, but you are not able to make business of your expectation. Is it correct? Yes, sir. Then what I have created a water element in one of the area, not water. Sump is not going to be there in the busy area in the shop. So it's not possible also. So that's the reason why I have created one painting in that particular shop exactly where it should be. And then you believe it not, he has spent only 600 rupees for creating that particular art, the size of the art, and that's everything I have recommended. And I have given the location on the wall, and then he has gone. What type of this I have given, and then he has called a painter, and then and there itself, yeah, I have advised him, and he has gone with that painting. When you believe it or not, there was a tremendous business income for him just by spending 600 rupees. Yes, it's not a own flat, he cannot go any change, but I have suggested small tip for him and he was very happy with that tip. Coloring, yes. Water fountain, yes. Similarly, coloring of the walls inside the business place or office also matters when you go for this particular thing. Even sometimes a type of poster will be recommended for an individual based on their name, based on their star, and also type of business and the location of the business and the facing of the business, sitting of the business, and what type of business does that particular boy or her is doing. That based on that also a poster will be recommended and then that type of poster should be placed in that location, which also fetches anyone. I have given a poster for a person running a school, and then he able to get only 20-30 admissions every year, and then after that he could see 5 times of admissions in the next year itself. So now the school is running with 650 students now. He could able to start branches also in the location. So that's it. So that's the reason why that's most important for us. So like this, there are different elements, Panchaboothas. I have concentrated in this video only on this particular water element. Like this, different videos will be made on fire element, earth element, sky element, air element also. So that will be dealt in detail in the next videos. Thank you for all of you for patient hearing, and then I hope this particular video is very valuable for you and also informative, and I suppose based on this I request all of you to subscribe this channel, because they are taking so much pain to share knowledge by experts to all of you. Share, like and subscribe this channel. That will be an encouraging move for them to do all this type of videos. Thank you so much.